Definitely titled this wrong. I'm live. I am live. Hold on. Settings. Studio. All right, you guys, hold on 1 second, because I need to change the name of this live. Here we go. All right, there we go. Yeah, I guess this is Saturday school because Tam is not here. What's the deal? What's going on, y'all? What is this? That's a tag in his hat? Oh, wow. Interesting. What is the deal, y'all? Test, test, test. How's my audio sounding? Palm trees in the chat if you can hear me. 7, what's the deal? D-React CV, what's the deal? Larry James said, what happened to the last live Dejon? Man, I started going back and forth with all the Ace Pit and everybody on the Dark Hour stream, and people started saying the F word, and I looked up and we was age restricted. And I really don't like when our episodes be age restricted because, I mean, it already was at like almost 3,000 views, so it would have been one of those bangers, but I just decided to take it down because it was age restricted. And Tam is out of town today, so me and Tam will make it up to you guys next Wednesday, I promise. Shout out to Tiny Hoover Yams. Yeah, shout out to Tiny and the Hoover Booty, man. We're going to talk about that. He's upset. He's crying. He wants me to stop making Hoover Booty jokes. We'll talk about that shortly. Now he knows how it feels when someone's making fun of you for things you can't control. We'll talk about that shortly. Palm trees in the motherfucking chat, y'all. I'm going to start drinking with y'all. Can you pass me a cut water? Even though I'm drinking on an empty stomach because we didn't stop and get no food. But we was already running late. I was supposed to start at 2. I'm not going to be here all day because I have an event to go to. So there's that. Thank you. Oh, I'm still green. Still matches the set. You can always change the age restrictions. Don't know how to do all that. That was the funniest shit of 2026. Yeah, I do have the funniest joke in the No Jumper universe this year so far with Big Hoover Booty. We'll talk about all that good stuff shortly. Let's start with a warm-up while more people join. First off, thank you guys for tapping in with a Day and Late podcast. Like I said, my co-host Tam is out of town. She's on a trip, so she'll be back Wednesday. And I'll be here Monday. Monday, I'm interviewing Haiti Baby. So I'll be here Monday night interviewing Haiti Baby, and then we'll be back Wednesday with a Tam and I episode, and Gangland Neem is pulling up on us next Wednesday. And then next Saturday, we have a special guest, too. So a lot of good content coming for you guys. I want to start with, did you guys hear about that porn star that became a pastor? That's our warm-up topic. The porn star that became a pastor. Let's see. I forgot her name, and she don't look familiar. But let's see. I ain't hear niggas. Like black people. Here we go. All right, former adult film actress Jasmine Cashmere, who filmed over 100 scenes, has turned her life around. She's accepted the Lord. She is with the Lord. She's now married and serves as a pastor. All right, well, congratulations to Miss Jasmine Cashmere. Congratulations to her. She gave her life to the Lord. She got saved. She's no longer getting fucked on camera for a living. That's really, really, really good for her. Would you go to a church where the pastor has over 100 sex scenes or adult films? Would you feel comfortable going to a church with your husband, ladies, where your husband can then go beat his dick off to the pastor on camera? I just think that's crazy. I've heard of a lot of, I've been to churches where the pastor used to be a crackhead, the pastor used to be gay, the pastor used to do this, the pastor used to do that. We all know, remember I exposed Six. Six's pastor got arrested. He was smoking crystal meth and then he got arrested for stealing all the church's money. So Six used to go to a church in Long Beach where the pastor was smoking crystal meth and stealing all the church's money. So pastors be shady. But me personally, I don't think I would go to a church where the bitch used to do porn. Because it's like one Google search away. You're one Google search away from fucking on camera. That's like me going to a church, Isaiah Rashad is the pastor. It's like I can pull up your sex tape and you sucking dick like this. So it's like, I feel like it's a distraction. I feel like it's really a distraction for the church. And of course, I'm not judging her. I'm just saying, it's different like, oh, this girl used to be a hoe. Cool, and now she's a pastor. Cool, she gave her life to God. You did it on video. It's just the fact that we got resources available. Dexter Defect said, what's her name again? Pastor Jasmine Cashmere. I'm going to show y'all one more time.
My husband in heaven was absent, my children, my family, friends, close people to me that supported me in this journey, things called life. And I am going to come to you guys from Acts 3:1 through 10.
All right, and I'll pull up the word. Technically, today is the Sabbath. I'll pull up the word. Acts 3:1. Acts, I want to see what she's quoting. Acts chapter 3 or book 3, verse 1. What does it say? It says, one day Peter and John were going up to the temple at the house of prayer at 3 in the afternoon through 3:1 through 3:10. Okay, I want to read the whole thing. Here we go. Peter heals a lame beggar. That's the name of this story, parable. Not a parable, because parable is a story Jesus told. That's the name of the story. It says, Acts 3. One day, Peter and John were going up to the temple at the time of prayer at 3 in the afternoon. Now, a man who was lame from birth was being carried to the temple gate. Lame, I think, means like blind or handicapped or something. Temple gate called Beautiful, where he was put every day to beg from those going to the temple courts. When he saw Peter and John about to enter, he asked them for money. Clearly, he wasn't blind, so maybe the lame just means his legs didn't work or something. Peter looked straight at him, as did John. Then Peter said, look at us. So the man gave them his attention, expecting to get something from them. Then Peter said, silver or gold I do not have, but what I do have I give you. In the name of Jesus Christ of Nazareth, walk. Taking him by the right hand, he helped him up, and instantly the man's feet and ankles became strong. He jumped to his feet and began to walk. Then he went with them into the temple courts, walking and jumping and praising God. When all the people saw him walking and praising God, they recognized him as the same man who used to sit begging at the temple gate called Beautiful, and they were filled with wonder and amazement at what had happened to him. So maybe that's why she's quoting that Bible scripture. Maybe she's saying that she's been healed the way that, what? Yeah, sure. Maybe, because it's like, what? That's dirty. Put that down. What do you want to use it for? It's dirty. Put it down. What do you need? I'm preaching. You made me fuck up my sermon. Right. So what was I saying, chat? I was saying that maybe she quoted this scripture so that she could like compare herself to the lame beggar man who used to be outside the gate in one way, but then she met someone who's a man of God and now she's healed. I don't know. We would have to ask her. But I did like that Bible story. I had a better train of thought, but I was distracted. But okay, you guys let me know if you would go to a church where the pastor does porn. Did porn. Did porn. Did. All right. What's next? What's next for our warm-up? Let's see. Next for our warm up is Big Tigger's domestic violence drama. Let's get to it. So TMZ leaked some footage of Big Tigger tussling with his wife. You know, Big Tigger got arrested. Big Tigger from Rap City, BET, V103 in Atlanta got arrested for child endangerment and domestic violence. His wife posted some videos of black eyes. Let's check out this TMZ footage.
There you go. Now reflect it back up. This is yours.
I am bleeding.
This is yours.
I'm bleeding, so take a picture. Take a picture. Take a picture.
Alicia, stop.
Take a picture.
Alicia, stop.
Get off of me. Get off of me. Get off of me.
There you go. Now reflect it back up. This is yours.
We're going to watch it one more time just to, you know.
This is yours.
I'm bleeding, so take a picture. Take a picture. Take a picture.
Alicia, stop.
Take a picture.
Alicia, stop.
Get off of me. Get off of me. Get off of me.
Okay, but
All right. Shout out to TMZ for that footage, I guess. In the video, you don't see him like directly hit her, slap her, ball his fist up and sock her, nothing like that. But you do see him like restraining her from leaving. So maybe that is still assault. And to some, and maybe some states, that's legally kidnapping because you're keeping me from going where I want to go. It doesn't look like, from the footage I just saw, it didn't look like she was attacking him and then he restrained her. She was doing something and then she's like, I'm about to leave. And then he grabs her and holds her and tells her to stop. So maybe that's why he's in this situation. Some people wouldn't call that a woman beater. Because he wasn't beating her. But I get the domestic violence charge. It is violent. It is DV. I'm going to close my door because people are in my hallway talking. But it is domestic violence. I don't think from that scene he's a woman beater, but he did commit domestic violence by restraining her when she didn't need to be restrained. He could have just walked in another room. He could have just sat down, let her left, XYZ. So there's that. I don't know how from that, because it looked like when he was tussling with her, maybe she hit her face on that glass door. That's why she had the black eye that she posted. I don't know. I wish Tam was here to give more context. But I remember her posting that black eye video. And a few days later, there was no black eye. So maybe she just bumped her. He bumped her head against the glass door. Nonetheless, BET Awards week. It's BET Awards weekend now, so we won't see Big Tigger at the BET Awards. And we know that's like his biggest gig of the year when he hosts the red carpet and interview everybody. So, dick and pussy politics has ruined Big Tigger's career. There was also another note I had on this. Let me see. Oh, yeah. So Big Tigger's wife, Alicia Brown, was arrested last year on family violence battery charge in Georgia. Charged by the state of Georgia with misdemeanor battery family violence. A judge later granted Brown a $1,000 surety bond with special conditions attached to her release. So, yeah, this bitch is crazy. They've been going through it. He should have never married her. Obviously, we talked about how her daughter has been missing for 7 years. Her daughter from a previous relationship has been missing for 7 years, and under her custody, the daughter went missing, and the ex-husband says there's some sketchy business going on. So, 1 second, you guys, because I'm on live. What's up? Oh, okay. Well, fuck y'all. All right, palm trees in the chat. Yeah, dick and pussy politics. Prayers and thoughts. Don't marry crazy bitches, especially crazy light-skinned bitches with big foreheads like that. She got that crazy look. So there's that. He let a bitch ruin his career. He's been respected for 30 years in the industry, and now all of a sudden, he's known as a woman beater. I also wanted to touch on this subject where a grieving mother questions why son's killer didn't receive a life sentence. Let's check this.
And I have one question real quick. When you state 25 to 32, that means it's no life sentence to that?
So that's correct. There's no life jail.
That's not what I agreed with Mr. Jeffrey. I told him it had to be a light in there because that's my son's life is gone. Why would we do 25 to 32? How is that fair?
Here, a couple of things if I may.
Yes.
First of all, I don't know what conversations you had with Mr. Schnatter and everything else like that. What I can tell you, nothing in this process is fair. There's no sense of fairness. You'll never walk out of this courtroom feeling like you won or got anything back. I could sentence him to death, and you're going to feel the same.
I definitely am. But he still need to pay for what he did. Period, point blank. He should not be able to be out here free, walking around, enjoying anything in life. My son was 20 years old. He didn't even get to enjoy his full 20 years.
Can I say, though, the first thing you struck me when you mentioned about how well he's doing, that you must have raised him right? That's the first thing that came to my mind. So what would you like for me to know you better?
Your Honor, I'm standing here today as a mother who is hurting in a way I never knew a person could hurt. I never imagined my life would bring me in this courtroom having to speak about my child's life being taken away. A mother is supposed to watch her child grow, see his dreams come true.
I gotta stop it before I tear up. Before I start crying. That's a tough situation. I do want to note that what's his name, the young kid, Carmelo Anthony, just got sentenced to more years for defending himself, stabbing that Austin white boy than the person that killed her son. I also want to note that the judge was right. No conviction he could sentence, no sentence or whatnot, would make her feel whole again. You get what I'm saying? Like, even if he said, like he said, even if I sent him to the electric chair, you might be satisfied for the brief second, but when you walk out of there, your son's still not alive. So the whole eye for eye thing, I understand it. It's biblical. I get it. It's ancient. That's just the way of the world. I understand that. I live by eye for eye. But I still don't think it makes you whole. It still doesn't bring back loss of life. You'll never see your son again, unfortunately. So there's nothing the judge can really do to bring him back, obviously. But I get her standpoint as well. It's like, this nigga killed my son. I want him to fry. I want him to spend the rest of his life in jail. I don't want him to get out in 20 years and be able to still go have kids and get married and live the rest of his life because he killed her son. So I understand both sides. I would need to know more about the case. I would need to see what actually transpired. How did the murder take place? I would need to know more about the murderer. Obviously, I'm not a judge, but hypothetically, if I was a judge, I would be looking at those stipulations and circumstances as well. Like, was this something that the son felt pressure to do? Did he feel like his life was threatened? Was this some gang shit and he just got caught up in the wrong type of crowd? Like, I would need to know things like that too to determine it. But I don't know. If you murder somebody, it's like, yeah, you do. It should be life for life. Now that I think about it. Yeah, if you murder somebody point blank and it's not self-defense and it's not like you're not trying to defend yourself or something, maybe you do deserve to spend the rest of your life in prison. Maybe so. Then there will be less murder. So yeah, I'm on her side. After giving this some thought, I debated it in front of you guys. Yeah. After giving it some thought. But all right. Next up on our warm-up, palm trees in the chat. We just warming up, you guys. Next up on our warm-up, Mark Nasty just got 2 major looks. One from Saucy Santana. Saucy Santana is turning up to Mark Nasty's song. Let's check it out.
If you take the 10 in, everybody get ready to pop that chest, damn it. Shake that ass to the floor. Let me see you get it. She like that. As you wish it all.
Oh. That's funny as fuck. So Mark Nasty posted this video. He said, "Say man, shouts out for everybody at Saucy Santana. Shout out to Mark Nasty for not being homophobic and reposting his content. It's not like Saucy was twerking when he was shaking his titties with a weave on. So shout out to him. That's very interesting. And it's dope to see that record, because that record came out like 2 years ago, 2024. So it's dope to see people still enjoying that record. Every time I hear it in a club or a party, they going up to it. So yeah, shout out to Saucy Santana and and Mark Nasty. But Saucy Santana wasn't the only person to dance to that song over this week. Check out India Love going up to it as well. Okay. Shout out India Love, man. Shout out Mark Nasty. Shout out M-Man, man. But all right, it's time to start the show. Let's get started. Palm trees in the motherfucking chat, man. Niggas is crying over my jokes. They don't like when the joke is on them. Oh, wait, hold on. Just to speak to how unbothered I am, let me show you guys. So I got this. We're going to get to the tiny Hoover booty jokes in a minute. Let me show y'all how I got dissed by this failing LA rapper / producer that y'all don't even know who he is, because that's how irrelevant he is. A gentleman named Polyester dropped a diss record against me. I guess it's called Miss Piggy. He made an AI video. I thought the shit was hilarious. I can't stop laughing. He been clowning. He's upset. He's upset because I don't post his music. He's upset because I don't put him on a report card. He's upset because I don't support his music, XYZ. So out of nowhere, he just came at me foul on Twitter and then dropped this diss record. And I thought it was hilarious. Do I think the song is good? No. It's a G-Funk beat. He sound like an old G-Funk Uncle Jerome off Snowfall ass rapper. But it's still a funny concept. I'm guessing it's called Miss Piggy. I think it's 2 parts. I think he made one for me and then one for me and Scotty, or maybe it's all one song. I don't know. Let's check it out. This is from Polyester. Polyester is best known for, he used to produce some of Dom's good music back when I was a child in 2011, and now he produces Dom Kennedy's flop music. Let's check it out.
Miss Piggy been talking to him.
All right, that was Polyester's Miss Piggy is what I'm gonna call the record. Listen, y'all, they saw those trans birds. Buster music. Bro, that is trash. He could have grabbed some hood rats from the liquor store instead of birds. Look, y'all. I feel like the beat is too G-Funk Unk dated. It's like I can't get past the beat. I can't get past it being 2026 and niggas still making songs that sound like the 90s. I can't get past that. I can't get past the whole macho Dr. Dre chronic flow and cadence. I just feel like that shit is dusty and dated. And it's like, you guys always dropping diss records about me. You guys never dropping hits. When are you guys gonna drop a hit record? Like that, this is the lead single from his new project. His new project is called Summer's Here. I guess he wants promo. This is the lead single from his new project. Your lead single from your project is the Dejon Paul diss record called Miss Piggy? Is that supposed to make people want to listen to your music? That's supposed to make people want to listen to your album? This is why the world is laughing at you LA rappers. This is why Double XL Freshman Cover 2026 doesn't have any LA rappers on it. Because y'all too busy being emotional and acting like hoes and bitches and broads and being in your feelings. You're not focused on dropping hit records and bangers and songs that can translate outside of LA. This is not making it past the 91 freeway, yet alone Arizona. Like, you're not getting booked to do any shows with this song, brother. I'm sorry. Again, I thought it was funny. You talked about me being fat and my chin and my stomach big. You made fun of me for getting free clothes. Like, okay. Yes, I like that I get free clothes. I like that brands shoot me merch all the time. I'm about to do a drop for Roach Killer Clothing that just blessed me with some gear. I get free clothes all the time. Desto Dub hooks me up all the time. Like, what's the problem? What's wrong with me getting free merch? Like, what's wrong with me having sponsors? There's nothing wrong with that. I bet you wish you had some sponsors, but nobody's going to sponsor that bunk-ass music. So, yeah, I wasn't offended at all. I thought the shit was funny. When he posted it on Twitter, it got 15 likes. I reposted it and was like, look, listen to this G-Funk unk-ass beat. And it got like 200 likes. And, yeah, there's that. I thought it was hilarious. Now, there is a part 2. I would never rap over this beat. Stop it. There is a part 2 that includes Scotty. And, like, I saw an AI video where, like, me and Scotty was booed up or something. I thought that was hilarious. Me and Scotty don't fuck with each other. Let's check it out. Is that Scotty?
Scotty, that matters is pivot. I'm on my fourth fast forward, little boy, you should listen. You agreed on a call.
All right. If it was 1996, I would really, 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 really like this song. Like, if it was 30 fucking years ago, I would really like this song. But it's 2026, y'all. You can't be serious. You cannot be making G-Funk unk-ass music like this in 2026 and thinking we gonna fuck with it. We can't ride around to this. My great uncles, my grandma's little brothers, they could ride around to this shit. But I can't ride around to this shit. I can't get jiggy with this shit. So yeah, terrible. That's gonna be an F for me. I like that you got at Scotty. I don't know your beef with Scotty, but for you to be beefing with Dejon Paul and Scotty, for you to be beefing with like 2 of the biggest platforms or bloggers in LA on the LA scene, it's making me look at you kind of funny, like you're just upset that we don't post your music. Because if Suburban LA posted Polyester's the hottest rapper / producer in LA, go check out his new project. If I posted Polyester's the hottest hottest rapper turned producer or producer turned rapper in LA, you would love it, repost it, like it, leave fire emojis, big bro, big bro, big bro. But because we ignore you, we deserve to be dissed, because I haven't done anything to you. I've never even had a real conversation with you outside of calling you a bitch on Twitter after you came at me crazy. So there's that. Shout out to him, though. Now we can start the show. I wanted, since he's talking about me getting free merch, I wanted to shout out, I want to take this sticker off, because why would he put this sticker on here? Shout out to Roach Killer. Damn, did he tape the sticker on here? Anywho, shout out to Roach Killer Clothing. Shot me some merch. I got some more in the car, but I didn't feel like bringing everything up. And I guess okay, there we go. Shout out to Roach Killer Clothing. Let's see what it says. Fell in love. Okay. A zip up. Okay, that's dope. Shout out to him with the roach killer on a zipper. Okay. I love it. I too kill roaches. Okay. A nice zip up. I needed a nice zip up. Okay. Shout out to him. This is dope. Shout out to Roach Killer Clothing for the merch. Thank you so much. Also, I'm going to raffle off a Dan and Lay shirt. This is how we're going to do it. This is our collaboration with Shockaware. So throughout the episode, if you send a $5 super chat, basically the prompt is, tell me your favorite podcast moment that I've had so far, whether it's on No Jumper, FMW, or something I've done on a Dan and Lay. Give me your favorite Dejon Paul moment on the internet, and I will, with a $5 super chat, and the best one will win a black shirt. I'm giving out 2 shirts. Someone will win a black shirt. Ooh. And then someone will win a white shirt. So two super chats will win. Send a $5 or more super chat telling me your favorite your favorite Dejon Paul moment to date. The best 2 answers will win a t-shirt. But with that being said, let's get started. 7 says she needs a large white shirt. I got you, boo. Let's get started, you guys. Dun, dun, dun. Tiny is crying about the big Hoover booty jokes. For those that don't know, even though everyone knows this, I made fun of Tiny for twerking at the FMW live show. FMW fans got in my chat, was like, oh, you sold more tickets than No Jumper, but you didn't sell more tickets than FMW. So I was like, well, shit, if we had Tiny shaking that big Hoover booty, that big Hoover ass, them Hoover yams, twerking that shit on our stage, we would have sold more tickets. It went viral. T-Real bust out laughing about it, Pun, AD, everybody's laughing. Even Mac Wop King, Crack Baby King put it in the group chat. So everybody's laughing at it. I think it's hilarious, but Tiny doesn't think it's funny anymore, guys. Tiny's crying. Let's check out what Tiny had to say.
In these YouTube streets, man, it's just a lot. And it's like, it's semi-T, but it's the, what make it T though, chat, and since y'all my peoples, I'm gonna let y'all know, what make it T is the retweets. The retweets make it T. Let me tell you why the retweets make it T. Because it's not like niggas ain't got at everybody. Everybody done got at type shit. Niggas done said some crazy shit to everybody about everybody. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, the retweet is like, you can talk about it and all that. You gonna do what you gonna do about it at the end of the day. But it's just like, damn, why y'all, like, it's a gang of shit we can retweet. Oh, you can laugh at it, we can joke about it. But why you gotta retweet it though? The retweet be the T part out of everything. You know what I'm saying? That's the part I'll be looking at. Like, y'all niggas is just pause. Niggas is just infatuated with the pause narrative shit. Like shit that's pause that get generated the most shit. Like it's like snitching and pause in this realm. I don't know if that's No Jumper fault. I don't know if that's FMW fault. I don't know who fault it is. But snitching and something pause gonna catch wildfire. Ha 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 ha. It's just like that shit. I don't be getting that.
Shut your soft batch build ass up, man. You was up there twerking. If you don't want people making fun of your ass, don't get on stage twerking them yams. How about that? You a grown ass man, you a gang member. Why was you up on stage at the FMW live show twerking? My second point is, it ain't no fun when the rabbit got the gun. You don't like it when I'm making jokes talking about underneath your clothes and your body and making gay jokes about you. But when you and your co-host at the Apollo have been making gay jokes about me since October 2024, It was all funny. Big Mama House, Big Gender, Dyke, Mook, Fugat, F word this, F word that, all these jokes. Now that I got a joke back and I got your homies clowning you and your homies in the group chat talking about you, and I got AD and T-Rail saying that's the funniest shit ever and doing segments on it and Pun talking about it, now you embarrassed. Now it's, oh, y'all talk about gay shit too much. Nigga, you and the Apollo been talking about gay shit, gay jokes towards me since October 2024. I don't want to hear it. I'ma keep clowning you, them Hoover yams, that big Hoover booty, that big Hoover ass. I'ma keep making fun of you. I got merch being printed up on the way. I got shocker word tees that say big Hoover booty all over them. Shout out to Tiny. I'll send a case over. Don't worry about it. I'll send a case over. You'll get your merch. I want you to sign them. Because at the end of the day, I've been told y'all to stop playing with me. I'm funnier than y'all. I'm darker than y'all. I'll take it further than y'all. I'm crazier than y'all. And I've proven that. You fuck with the wrong person. Now, you guys might say, oh, Dejon, is really just Keem and MacWap that be making the gay jokes. Tiny don't be making the gay jokes like that. That's not true, because I have a clip from just a couple months ago recently where Tiny called me Big Mama House and he said, why would Loaded Great go over there? He should come to the Apollo after Loaded Great pulled up to the Danley podcast. Let's check it out.
Tiny. What's up, Playboy?
What's up with it, man?
How you feeling?
Good. We gotta get my boy Low over here.
No, for sure.
Shout out Low Great. He don't think we fuck with him.
Why is that?
No, that's what I said. No, that's why I said we didn't fuck with him. He haven't. He said he never been on Apollo. I seen him at G3 Sun Party, and he knew Kim Parson was coming over or something. So he was trying to pull over. He was trying to pull up that day, but I had to bust a movie before I left the party to come over here. So I just told him Tuesday. But I'm like, he was like, the Apollo don't fuck with me. I'm like, the Apollo don't fuck with you.
I just shot him.
He went to the other shit. I'm like, he went to the fed. Nah, I wasn't talking about the fed. I'm talking about the other shit. Big Mama.
Oh.
Yeah, he went over there. I'm like, you went over there before you get to the Apollo? That's crazy, but that's on me, probably.
Okay, so right there in that moment, I knew I had to get my lick back pause against Tiny. I knew I had to get my get back against Tiny, because not one, you calling me Big Mama House, bitch, you fat too. So what the fuck are you talking about? You fat with a big booty too, so you Big Mama House edition as well. And then two, how you talking shit about Loaded Great coming over here for an interview before Apollo? I've been interviewing Loaded Great since 2020. He's literally on that magazine cover with AC Chike. Right there in the corner, it says Loaded Great and the byline for his interview. And he's been on Dan Lay podcast several times. Like, I've had him as a guest more times than probably any other producer in LA. I've interviewed him numerous times. So why wouldn't he pull up to a Dan Lay podcast and talk about the project that was inspired by me? The project Blame Low was inspired by Dejon Paul, because I sat here and I said I blame Low for how LA rap sounds. And he quoted that, made a clip, and announced that he was dropping his Blame Low project. Nonetheless, Tiny, you can't play victim, but that's all Apollo does. All Apollo does is throw rocks, hide their hands like soft batch bitches. Mark ass, Buster, Boulevard bitches. That's all Apollo does. They talk shit about people. They crack jokes that people don't want to hear. They negative towards people. They hate on people. And then when you respond, it's, oh, why would you do that? Why would you say that? Shut your soft batch ass up, because I can, bitch. That's why I'm doing it. Now what? What are you going to do about it? I'm making fun of you and your big ass Hoover booty, and you can't do shit about it, bitch. Now what? Now what? What you got to say about it? Nothing. Exactly. Like I thought. Just go cry some more, big Hoover booty. We don't want to hear that. Go cry. I don't want to hear from Hoover booty no more. Go cry about it. Sit there and cry. Wham. Tears and Hoover booties. Matter of fact, we're going to make fun of you some more, bitch. Niggas get on my nerves. Niggas making fun of me for 2 years, and I crack some jokes back. Now it's a problem.
I'm only known for getting choked out, smoking up everybody's weed, and having a big fat Hoover booty. I'm only known for getting choked out, smoking up everybody's weed, and having a big fat Hoover booty.
Shout out to Keyboard Clips. He a fool for this one. Then also, they got this Reddit on flyer. I'm hosting an event. It's called the Big Fat Hoover Booty Twerk Off. The Big Fat Hoover Booty Twerk Off. Big Time presents $500 grand prize. All Hoover Booties pull up. Pull up, man. Get your twerk on. Win $500 in a Dana Late tee, man. I love it, man. I love this content shit, man. Niggas can't fuck with me. I am Dark Rainbow. Destruction! Dark Rainbow! Can't nobody see me in this content space when it comes to darkness, nigga. Darkness. dark, 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 dark. That's all they hear when I pop out. I'm back outside, nigga. I'm on my block. What else we got? What else we got? Oh, speaking of Hoover booties, did y'all see? I forgot all about that nigga that was twerking on the Back on Fig stream. The nigga from Hoover. Do y'all remember this? TBT. Keyboard Clip just posted it. Look. 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 Watch. Look at T-Rail's face when his homie from Hoover starts twerking by his face. Look. Look. Oh my God. Oh. Oh my God. All right, so when I have live stream parties here, like my Christmas party and when the homegirls pull up, it's actually bitches here shaking ass. I'm the gay nigga and I ain't never had no niggas here shaking ass. But Back on Fig got niggas twerking on live stream. Y'all just saw that. Scar Soul or D-React TV, kick all 32 out my chat. I'm so tired of all 32 being disruptive in my chat. Let's get all 32 the fuck out of here. Yeah! Let's officially ban all 32 from my chat. Raya's in the PJs turning up another notch. Let's officially kick all 32 out the chat. Oh, his name is Bricks. His name is Bricks7. That's Bricks from 50s. Why was he twerking? Also, we got a $5 super chat from D-React TV. He said Dejon crashed out on Ho Jackman, a.k.a. Dora and Boots, over the N-word, and your crash out on your old co-host when you came with a letter. I love that day. Like the stream, chat, Dub Saturday. Shout out to D-React TV. That's my favorite so far. Most likely you'll be winning the shirt. We also got a $2 super chat from Hoderi Selah 43. Love y'all. Keep doing your thing. I got to open this door. It's so fucking hot. Maybe it's the cut water. I don't know. Look at that compared to Dejon party. Dejon had them beautiful women at his party scream. Exactly. And these niggas be having sausage fest with gangbangers twerk. Oh, he's not from Hoover. His name is Bricks from Trouble, according to 7. Trouble Booty. He was twerking, man. Shout out to him. Hey. That nigga hyped that leg up. I ain't gonna do it, but that nigga hyped that leg up. He said, hey. Oh, man. That's funny. Yeah, kick all 32 out of here. Get that bitch out my chat. He been talking shit ever since I took his badge. All right, bet. Let's see. What else do I have for... I don't have nothing else for time. Oh, last thing. This is my last thing. Why I don't feel bad for Tiny. I don't feel bad for Tiny because he robbed me of 2 Teet Awards. 1 in a possible. I definitely should have won, maybe 3. I definitely should have won Beef of the Year, because you know he does the Teet Awards at the end of the year. I should have won Beef of the Year 2024 for me versus Stat. But it got nominated, I think, so I'm not mad. At least I got nominated. I definitely should have won Rookie of the Year 2024. There was no rookie at FMW in 2024 that had more impact than me. I literally got to show up, fair to say, from 10, 12, 13,000 views to 50,000 views. So there's that. As well as my appearances on Community, Back on Fig, and Ace Boys Worldwide several times. I feel like I should have won Rookie of the Year, but whatever. That's a matter of opinion. The bullshit with the Teeter Awards and Tiny came in 2025 when it was time to do Beef of the Year nominations, and I didn't get nominated for my beef with Keem. I cooked that man's mama crack because she's a crack whore. I literally cooked his mama crack cocaine on a podcast. Have you ever seen a podcaster cook crack cocaine, like plug in a hot plate, pull out a pot, pull out baking soda, a whisk, cocaine, and cook crack cocaine for someone's crack whore mother? You've never seen that done before. I talked about this man's dead crackhead father. Like, I called his children crack grandbabies. Like, I'm fucking funny. Like, I'm hilarious. That beef deserved a nomination for Beef of the Year. And I didn't get that. So I feel like Tiny robbed me of that nomination. It should have won, but I didn't even get nominated for Beef of the Year, Dejon versus Keem, because he wanted to protect Keem's feelings. But then when I started talking about his big fat Hoover booty, who put it in the group chat? He said Keem put it in the group chat. Keem was clowning him the whole last Apollo episode over it. You see how all his homies, T-Rail, AD-Pun, everybody's clowning Tiny about the big Hoover booty joke, but then when I'm making jokes about Keem, he excludes that from his award program, which makes his award program biased. So basically, the Teeter Awards is biased, y'all. It's not about who deserves the award, who deserves to be nominated. It's about Keem's feelings. Let me not offend my homie. I don't want my homie to feel away, so I'm not going to nominate someone that he's beefing with, even though that's the biggest beef of the year, pause. So yeah, I feel like that's also why I don't feel bad for Tiny, because he picks sides, and if you fuck with him, you duck with him, instead of being neutral, instead of being like, look, I'm running an award show, I gotta call it how it is, I gotta call it down the middle. If it's funny, it's funny. If it's the best beef, it's the best beef. If you the rookie, you get nominated for rookie XYZ. He didn't do that with his Teeter Awards. He was very biased and just wanted to give his homies trophies. So, and that biasness and that friendly emotion is what keeps him hog-tied to failure. Emphasis on hog. And that's why the only time he went viral in the past year or two on FMW is when he had his big fat Hoover booty pressed up against that boxer that choked him out. What's that boxer's name that went on Fair to Say, Flop to Say, and choked him out, and then shortly thereafter the show got canceled? Yeah. So shout out to Tiny and that big fat Hoover booty. So you guys know, our last episode on Wednesday got age restricted because I joined, while I was on live, I joined Pun on the Dark Hour stream. It's kind of like Let Me Cook. I don't know the difference. But earlier that day on Shame on You, he was like, I'll put Dark Rainbow on the stage. They let the siren up. When he said he's bringing back Dark Rainbow, T-Rail's legs fly back. He got his gooch exposed in the air. I don't know what that was about. But we don't want 40-year-old gooch, especially 40-year-old gooch that Tiger used to play with. So I pulled up to the Dark Hour with Pun, and let me show you how it went. This is the intro to me returning to the platform.
Hold on. Who was that, cuz?
Yeah.
They were never doing shit together.
Wait, who was that? Oh shit, cuz. Oh shit. Oh shit. The Dark Rainbow. That's what the motherfucking stinks. Shit. Alright, y'all got Dark Rainbow on stage, man. Y'all got Dark Rainbow on stage?
We got Dark Rainbow on stage. All right, Dark Rainbow, get to working right now. Right now.
Hey, Dark Rainbow, bro. What the fuck possessed you to say that shit? Hold on, y'all.
Rainbow.
Radio. Dark Rainbow, what possessed you to say that shit yesterday, or whatever day that was about Tiny, bro? That nigga said that big Hoover ass. What made you say that shit, cuz?
All right, so look, my chat was trolling me talking about well, you didn't sell as many tickets as FMW. I'm like, y'all got a secret weapon. Y'all had Tiny shaking the yam, the big Hoover studio.
Damn it.
Hold on. Who was that, cuz?
Yeah.
All right, so I had a good time. I was on there for like 3 hours. We literally got age restricted on this channel because I was on there talking shit. Niggas was dropping the F-bombs. It was going crazy. I had a good time, minus a few smokers. There was a few smokers in there that just wanted to argue when I felt like Pun and I could have been talking. This is my first time talking to Pun in like over a year or close to it. So, and Six as well. Six was in there. It's really my first time having a real conversation with Six, who was a producer on Fair to Say. And we got to a lot of good topics. I wish we just could have got to even more topics or talked about the topics more. But, you know, people just want to troll. People just want to argue. It was one drunk, old-ass, 47-year-old nigga on there, drunk on his couch wearing fake jewelry. Just want to argue with people. It was like a super back on Fig fan who was smoked out and had an American flag in his garage, even though he was black. And he was just going up. So we really didn't get to like get down to the gristle of these topics, but we did have a couple great exchanges. I want to start, I guess we could start with let's start with what people thought was outrageous and ridiculous, but I feel like it's very factual. Someone said, Dejon, FMW made you, one of the Ace Pit members or somebody in the Discord. And I said, no, I made FMW and I stand on that. When I say I made FMW, I'm not saying I did the work. I put in the groundwork. You know, we know that AD and T-Rail have done their things, 200 episodes, 300 episodes, whatever number they're on, day after day. I'm not saying that. When I say I made FMW, I'm saying when I went on No Jumper and I called those two gentlemen employees when they were up there acting like they were the bosses and proprietors of No Jumper and they could do whatever they wanted to me, that sparked the seed, or pause, that planted the seed to make them want to go start their own platforms. In fact, I looked it up. Our interview where I called them employees that went viral, one of the biggest No Jumper interviews at that time, was January 2022 when I dropped the first LA Rap Report card. Back on Fig didn't launch till December 2022, its first episode. Community didn't start till June 2022, its first episode. So they didn't even have their own platforms at the time when I called them employees. But I'm going to play the clip of me saying I made FMW in retort to someone saying FMW made me. And then I'll get back into this line of thought.
Y'all niggas will still be employee loser niggas up under that white man.
Man,
Shut your bitch ass up!
you made FMW.
That nigga 6 is on cool, man.
Hey, John, you going too far, cuz. You going too far, cuz.
You got a little plan, man.
You going too far, cuz. I'm trying to look at cocaine real quick.
Yeah, see, I like to cook too.
So yeah, they was talking over me. You couldn't really hear my line of thought, but I'm here at I'm at the same place. But I'm here and you guys can hear me directly now when I say that if I hadn't called AD and T-Rail employees, I don't think that they would have took the initiative to start Community and Back on Fig, which is what is FMW is built off of. I don't think we have a Back on Fig or a Community if I don't go there and embarrass AD and T-Rail. You guys don't know how embarrassed they were. And I have proof of that. They were mortified that this fat gay guy pulls up to No Jumper and calls them employees when they've been prancing around the building acting like they own the place. And I'm like, no, Adam's the boss. He owns this. It really should be me and Adam sitting down, boss to boss, owner to owner, talking about this. I'm here with the help. I'm here with his employees. And you want to tell me XYZ. So let's revisit that conversation because I have it here. This is an iconic moment. Some say this moment changed No Jumper forever.
Let's too that you can, you know what I'm saying, you can put your shit on, you know what I'm saying? You have YouTube, you can start a podcast, you got Twitch, you can do that shit, you know what I'm saying?
I didn't come here for corporate
you know what I'm saying, you can put your shit on, you know what I'm saying? You have YouTube, you can start a podcast, you got Twitch, you can do that shit, you know what I'm saying?
I didn't come here for corporate
It's so many other things you can do.
I didn't say insulting. I said corporate consulting. I didn't come here for corporate consulting from employees.
Who's an employee? I'm a motherfucking boss. You know me.
You guys work here.
I'm a boss.
Let's stop the video there. Do you see how perplexed they were? they didn't realize that they were employees. They're like, who you calling employees? You talking about us? I'm a boss. T-Rail, what were you a boss of? Back on Fig didn't even exist. So what business did you own? Last Kings went bankrupt before this. That's why you were at No Jumper working for free. The Last Kings store was closed. It went bankrupt. What were you a boss of? Sorella? That's Heather's company. What were you the boss of? Tiger had already kicked you to the curb. That's why you was up in No Jumper working for free. You was an employee. You really was a volunteer intern. But to be nice, you were an employee. You and AD were Adam's employees. Do you see like the confusion in their faces when I called them employees? They really didn't know that they were employees. That's what I mean when I say I made FMW. Because if I didn't pull up to No Jumper and pop their bubble paws, they would have stayed there and they would have never started Back on Fig. They would have never started community. They would have never became entrepreneurs in this media space. They would have been satisfied just being up under Adam, running around No Jumper acting like it's theirs. They didn't even know. It'd be different if I called them employees and they was like, what's wrong with being an employee? Ain't nothing wrong with being an employee. My goal is to be here and start my own shit. Then I wouldn't say I made FMW. It's the fact that they were in such denial that they were employees let me know that they thought they weren't. They thought they ran No Jumper. So until I came along, if I didn't come along, there would be no Back on Fig. There would be no community. And I looked that up, but we'll get to that shortly. Go ahead.
I'm a partner in this motherfucker.
That's cool. You gotta watch your mouth, bro. That's great.
Look how offended they got. Look how offended they got.
I'm a motherfucker. Like that. I know, but matter of fact,
This is my
elaborate on that shit.
Run my business. That's what I'm saying. This is my business.
Hey, don't nobody tell us
Run
nothing.
this shit over here.
You talking about I need to do
I got
YouTube,
you on there.
I need to do that.
Look, I got you on here when the nigga told you no.
And I appreciate it, bro. But you talking about I need to do YouTube like I don't have a podcast.
But
We don't have no rules over here. We do the fuck we want.
Listen.
Let's break it down. You just told me to do
YouTube. You just told me to
No,
do
but I was
YouTube.
saying that, and
I do a podcast and I have a YouTube channel.
But I didn't know that. I was just making sure you had your shit going out on the platform, so we wouldn't be worrying about everybody else.
You gotta know the facts before you speak on niggas, bro. That's what I was telling you before.
Okay.
Know the facts before you speak.
Right. All right.
Because I didn't come here. I could have came here tripping, did whatever I wanted to you. I said, man,
Whatever you wanted to?
whatever I wanted.
No, really, I just came here to tell you that you was really right on this shit.
Oh, when AD said that, man, I damn near was holding back, laughed. I was like, whatever you wanted to me? Like, you sure about that? Whatever you wanted to me? Listen, man, these gentlemen did not know. In hindsight, this is hilarious. These gentlemen, it's like telling a blind person that they're black, they're not white. They've been thinking this whole time, like the Creighton guy off Dave Chappelle skit. It's like, no, you're black. It's like, they didn't know. I had to open their eyes. Unless you have to force their eyes open and let them see, like, no, you're niggas. This is not your building. This is not your platform. You don't own this trademark. None of this equipment is yours. This is not yours. This is Adam's. You work here. You're employees. So again, if I hadn't done that, I don't think that there would be a Back on Fig in a community. If there's no back on Fig in community, there's no FMW. So for someone to say, oh, FMW made you Dejon, no. I made FMW and I stand on that. I've said that several times. In fact, I did my research. Remember, this interview was January 2022. So I asked ChatGPT, I said, when was the very first episode of Community aired? It said the very first episode of Community hosted by AceBoyPun and AD premiered on June 7th, 2022. Then I said, when was the very first episode of Back on Fig? And it said the very first episode of Back on Fig hosted by TRL and Smack aired on December 6th, 2022. So if I do an interview, a viral interview on No Jumper in January 2022 with AD and T-Rail, and I call them employees, and the entire comments and all the timeline and everybody agrees with me because it's logically, factually true. It's a fact. It's not an opinion. Because it's true, everybody agrees with me, and they feel embarrassed and they feel mortified about it. And then months later, they go and start their own platforms where they're no longer employees. They're now the proprietors. How is that not me planting the seed, pause, or inspiring them to go do their own platforms the way I had my own platform? I didn't go up to No Jumper like, oh, I'm looking for a job. I went up to No Jumper being interviewed about what I already had going. The LA Rappaport card, Mustard co-signing me, getting on Twitter and telling Gina, no, you're wrong. Dejon should be giving his opinion on music. That's real journalism. That's what you're supposed to do. Give your opinion on the West Coast music. Being interviewed in the Source magazine, being interviewed in LA Times. I had all of that already going before I ever set foot in No Jumper to be interviewed by those two employees. So, yeah, that's what I mean when I said I made FMW. Again, they did the groundwork. They put in the work. They invested the money. They went through the trials and tribulations, the ups and downs. I'm not taking from their grind. Salute to those black men for what they've done and what they've accomplished and all the work they put in. I'm saying that moment when I called them employees inspired them to go become bosses and real entrepreneurs in this media space. And no one can tell me differently. And this is how I know. Let's listen to, because people always talk about the first time I went to No Jumper. People rarely talk about the second time when AD and T-Rail interviewed me the next year. Let's check that out.
He cracked it off over here.
He definitely cracked it off over here.
Everybody still talking about it.
And what stuck out in that interview was he called us employees.
In retort.
And he wasn't lying. He wasn't lying.
I called you guys employees in retort to your statement. Your statement was, instead of focusing on them, I should do a podcast.
Yeah.
And I should do a YouTube channel. I've been podcasting and doing a YouTube channel since 2020.
Uh-huh.
So I said that in retort to what you had said. And I wasn't focused on when you guys brought these individuals up. So that's how that transpired, but I'm glad it happened. Because a lot of good came from it.
It did.
What good came from it?
No, it did.
No, I just want to
Go ahead.
What good came from it? I see a lot of young black people in the greater Los Angeles area stepping up in areas of ownership, black entrepreneurship, black enterprise, and that's what I'm pushing for.
More context.
He cracked it off over here.
He definitely cracked it off.
So this is from 2023. I pulled back up to No Jumper a whole year later, and we talked about the whole employee comment, and I told them how I saw that conversation go so viral that it inspired a lot of people in this space to let me have my own platform. Even if I am working in No Jumper, even if I am working at the radio station, even if I am working here, working there, I need to have my own platform going, and that's literally what they went and did after our interview in January 2022 when I called them employees. They turned around and went that June, that December, and opened up their own platform. So I don't get how you guys aren't connecting the dots. Also, AD apologized to me for how he responded to the employee comment. Let's check that out. You guys never talk about that.
Whenever I ever denounced or made it seem like it was a negative thing to be an employee, I never said that. I said a preference or a boundary with you, which was I don't take corporate consulting from employees, meaning someone who didn't research their guests to know that he had a podcast can't tell me how to run my platform. That's all that was. It wasn't a denouncement of employees. Nothing wrong with having a job.
And I think that we took it, we both took it,
Don't say we.
I took it offense to that. You know what I mean? Because I was like, is he coming over here trying to shit on us? And
why would I do that?
Yeah, no. That's what I'm saying. And that's why I said I'm going to apologize to you as black man to black man at the end of the day. And, I ain't want to just do that shit on Twitter because I was thinking about that and like as times that that ain't one of my grandest moments, and that's not what I want to push out there to the people, especially people of color. When they see this, we supposed to be able to talk to each other with words and stuff like that. And I didn't like how that was betrayed. It was like, all the shit that people say about us, it's like, damn, y'all is that. You know what I mean? When you sitting there and carrying yourself like that too, because you just giving your opinion on this is a lot of people get bent out of shape. Yeah, they could take that disrespect, but at the end of the day, this is your opinion, and you deserve to be able to say what you feel without having to feel like somebody is everybody attacking you and stuff like what.
So there's people in the chat saying Yuri helped them with their setups. I'm not saying I'm the only person that helped FMW along the way. I'm just saying I sparked the idea for them to stop being just No Jumper employees and go do their own thing. And that's how we got FMW. And I always felt like, if anything, I should have been given, when I said, hey, can you guys stop the gay jokes? I should have been given that respect because, again, if it wasn't for me going on No Jumper calling them employees, they would have never started back on Figure Community. But it is what it is. So not only did we have a conversation about the origin of FMWs and my role in it, but we also had a conversation about the end of Fair to Say. And Pun takes zero accountability. Shocker. Let's check it out. Oh, last point, real quick. On the FMW Origins. We see that they're on Power 106 now. I think they have the #1 show on Power 106 with the FMW Sundays. Don't forget the person that's been fighting for there to be more black people on LA radio and Power 106 since 2019. So also they wouldn't have that radio show on Power 106. If I hadn't held a whole boycott, which made it to Channel 7 ABC News, I was outside the Power 106 building in Burbank. Look at the timestamp on this. August 3rd, 2022, 4:18 p.m., Burbank, McNeil. Power 106 hates black people. Holding these signs. This shit made it on the news. Me and a plethora of other people, Tariq Nasheed, all kind of black people were out there protesting the fact that Power 106 wouldn't hire any black individuals. And some years later, they finally did, and it's their #1 show. So clearly I was right. You guys know I got blackballed for saying these things, had beef with several people, including Letty and Rosecrans Vic, or aka Rosecrans Vicky. So yeah, in several ways, I've been a great influence on the FMW operations, whether people give me my credit or not. And I'm not asking for the credit, but for someone to sit on the show and say Dejon, FMW made Dejon, when it's actually the contrary, was just very ignorant and asinine. And I want to come on here and correct that. But yeah, let's move on to the next topic. Pun and I got into the whole Dejon ruined Fair to Say thing. Let's check that out.
Cool. So you said that by Pun, I just heard you say me cooking crack for King's mom ruined Fair to Say.
No, I'm saying that was the last, the breaking straw when I know for sure, like you, as you know I wasn't over that goddamn show, nigga. But the last straw when it hit my radar, when it was like, okay, it's 2 times when niggas came at me about the show. That's when the nigga Pot Lord had the nigga pull up with the fight or whatever. Okay. That was the one time, and then the second time when everybody brought it up was, nigga, the goddamn you cooking the crack, and niggas was like, oh yeah, that can't fly. Even though the episode came out, because I did hear you say, well, why did the episode come out then? Episode came out, you feel me? But niggas like that can't fly, bro. That was, you know what I'm saying, King the homie, and that was just going too far. You Dark Rainbow, even though you know you went too far with that one. God. But then again,
yeah, that was crazy. Let me respond to Pun. I don't think I went too far for several reasons. Well, one, it's not a live show. Fair to say it's not live. So if I went too far, why did y'all put that out? It was a pre-recorded show. Y'all could have edited that whole part out. Y'all edited out when I cursed Flacco the fuck out and got in Flacco's face on Fair to Say. Y'all edited that whole part out. So why didn't y'all edit out when I cooked my crack? Secondly, call Hove, call Illa. I'll call Mark Nasty. Mark Nasty already came on the Dan Lake podcast and confirmed this. I showed everybody at the table the props. I showed them the crack. I showed them the baking soda. I showed them the whisk. I showed them the hot plate. I told them I was going to do that, and everybody started quiet laughing. Then when I did it on the
I don't know. Listen, because I remember on the video, Hove even asked you, like, what's that? When you put it on the table. Hove was like, what's that? What are you doing?
He came on the Dan Lake podcast last March and confirmed that no, Dejon told us all what he was going to do. He showed us all of it, and we all started laughing. Mark Nasty said that on my show, and I can pull that up during a March episode of the Dan Lake podcast 2025. But that's not even my main point. The main point, which has to do with you, is Pun. If I go to YouTube right now and I type in Dejon Paul gay jokes, am I not going to see a clip that says Dejon Paul says no more gay jokes? When I went on Shame on You and sat down with the owners of Fig Community World, I sat down with you, Smack, T-Rail, and AD, and I asked y'all to tell everybody to kill it with all the gay jokes moving forward. I don't want any more gay jokes. I'm not comfortable with them. I sat with the owners of Fig Community World.
All right, so let me ask you a question. Hold on, stop right there. So when you said that, who kept going with it then?
Me and Macrock.
But they're not Fig Community World. They're not Fig Community World.
He is FMW. What could go wrong every Wednesday or Tuesday? He was on the Fig Community World channel. So he is FMW.
No. He's a sub. He said it himself. He's a subcontractor. He's a subcontractor. He always said that. He's a subcontractor.
I wasn't paying me. It's the same thing.
Subcontractor.
On the same channel. Those shows come on the same channel. We can't play logistics. Let's not do that. I asked you guys to stop all the gay jokes at FMW being made about me. Listen, King made the gay jokes about me during the first week of January 2025. The first 2025 episode of Back on Fig, King sat down on Back on Fig. T-Rail was there, AD was there, OG Suicide was there. Go look it up. It's like January 6, 2025. That nigga called me a dyke, gay-ass nigga, mook, all kind of gangsters, and T-Rail and AD face sat there and said all that shit. And I said, oh, I got you, bitch. And when that was Friday, when I went to work on Monday, I cooked this mama crack. Because I already sat down with all of y'all and told y'all to stop the gay jokes. So I don't feel like I went too far. If you tell a nigga to stop touching you and he keep touching you, you have the right to knock him the fuck out. Because you communicated to him that you don't want that done anymore. It's called a boundary. I look at it as you're challenging my manhood. I said stop with the gay jokes. Nobody stopped with the gay jokes. So I crashed out. Now, Pun, you, T-Rail, AD, Smack, what y'all should have did was y'all should have sat down with y'all employees and said, hey, we have Dejon here. He's doing great work. He's pulling up 3 times a week on Fair to Say for free. He's driving 2 hours away 3 times a week for free, doing great work on Fair to Say. He got the Fair to Say numbers up. Can you please just respect his sexuality and leave it alone? But y'all didn't do that.
And because they didn't do that like professional business owners, I handled the situation how I had to handle the situation. They didn't appreciate how I handled the situation. So now I'm at my own place of business where I can do what the fuck I want. I can say what the fuck I want and operate how I want to. So now there should be no issue. But there's a lot to respond to. I feel like I cooked Pun in that conversation. I definitely cooked Pun. He lacked accountability. Like I say, fish rot from the head down. So if there's any problem going on within your business, you have to look at the owners. And Pun is one of the owners of the Fig Community World LLC. So he definitely should have, Pun definitely should have intervened. T-Rail, Smack, even though Smack's a crackhead, and a J-Cat that gets an SSI check, don't even have his own place to lay his head. T-Rail, one of them should have talked to Keem, talked to all the FMW employees and said, hey, Dejon came to us, sat down on camera with us and said, stop the gay jokes. So let's ease up on the gay jokes. Let's not make the gay jokes. Or even that day when Keem was sitting there calling me all those names on Back on Fig in front of AD, T-Rail, and OG Suicide. AD and T-Rail should have been like, hey, watch out. Dejon doesn't appreciate that. He let us know he don't like that. We're not doing that this year. And then I wouldn't have had to cook nobody mama crack. If somebody had stood up for me, I wouldn't have to cook nobody mama crack. I wouldn't have to talk about nobody dead crackhead daddy, talk about people's kids, XYZ. But because nobody stood up for me, because people sat there and laughed at the gay jokes, actually, I was so alone, I had no choice but to handle the situation how I chose to handle it. And I'm proud and stand by how I handled the situation. Don't regret it. We'll do it again, still do it on a regular basis. And can't nobody chastise me because this is my office. I pay the rent here. So if I want to talk about somebody's crack whore mother, I will do that. But yeah, there's so many points where I could Pun. Let's talk about even when him saying like, oh, Keem wasn't FMW, he was a self-contractor or whatever bullshit he was saying. Keem was on What Could Go Wrong. What Could Go Wrong is a show that comes on Fig Community World, just like Fair to Say. So I'm a subcontractor then. What are you talking about? We're both on, in fact, he's actually on shows with the quote-unquote higher ups. He's on a show with Pun and T-Rail once a week. I'm on a show with Stet, Illa, and Scotty 3 times a week. That all comes on the same channel. Like if we head over to YouTube and we type in What Could Go Wrong, we're going to see these episodes on what channel? Fig Community World. Fig Community World. Interesting. We're going to see this on the Fig Community World channel. So you can see what could go wrong. What is this? They clipped Hoover Booty? Anywho, you can find What Could Go Wrong episodes on here. The same way you can find Fair to Say episodes on here. Let's check it out. So if I type in here, What Could Go Wrong, those episodes are going to pop up. And then if I type in Fair to Say, those episodes are going to pop up. Okay, I just want to make sure I'm not a crazy person. So we were on the same channel. So maybe Pun was talking to a smoker or somebody, but he wasn't talking to me. I'm not an idiot. So Pun, that game works on smokers. Go talk to Keem's mom like that or his deceased father like that. But don't ever in life talk to me like I'm a smoker or I'm missing chromosomes. Because Keem worked at Fig Community World because he was on What Could Go Wrong the same way I worked at Fig Community World because I was on Fair to Say. So when I said stop all the gay jokes and talk to the owners of the company, it was on y'all to talk to every employee and be like, hey, new company mandate, leave Dejon alone with the gay jokes. But y'all didn't. And I understand. I want to show some grace in this moment. We all first-time business owners. None of our parents own media platforms. None of our parents were podcasters, broadcasters. We don't know what we're doing. We're all winging it. We're all taking it step by step. So you're going to make mistakes. You're not going to be perfect, but at least be accountable for it. That's where I'm holding Pun accountable for his lack of accountability. Pun in that moment could have been like, you know what, Dejon? I should have had a conversation with Keem about easing up on the gay jokes. That way you wouldn't even have to get to all the crack jokes and the mama jokes and the daddy jokes and XYZ. But Pun and nobody did that, and none of them took accountability for it. And again, it doesn't matter because fast forward, I'm writing for Complex. I got sponsors like Ethica, Shockaware. I'm doing my Cali Plug. I'm doing my own thing in my own office, so it all worked out well anyway. And it was just something I had to go through to make me stronger. That process made me much, much, much stronger. The conversation spun around to who ruined Fair to Say more so. And I don't have it clipped, but you guys can go check it out. Basically, Pun didn't want to take accountability for it. And a lot of people were pointing out me and Stat falling out. And Stat even responded in the Keyboard Clips comment. I think Stat said something like that show was over when I left, sayonara, or some corny shit like that. I talked to Pun during the dark hour, and I was telling Pun that who told Stat he couldn't sit in that chair that day? Like, who made Stat cry? Yes, I went and told everybody that Stat cried, but who literally made Stat cry? Why did Stat cry? Stat cried because he was told he couldn't sit in that seat that day, the seat he always sits in the front. So Stat cried until we literally said, here, bro, just sit here, and then that was that. But whose order was it for Stat not to sit in that seat? Pun and Smack. When me and Illa showed up that Wednesday, we went upstairs. Pun and Smack was getting their haircuts. This is like right after Shame on You. We all in the kitchen area upstairs. Pun and Smack getting their haircuts. They like, when Stat get here, tell him he not sitting in that seat today. Illa, we want you to sit in that seat. We go downstairs. Illa sits in his seat. Stat walks in late as per usual. Everybody else left. I think T-Rail might have stayed there though. T-Rail might have still been in the building. Everybody else leaves. Stat wants to sit in his seat. Illa's like, Pun and Smack said they want you to sit somewhere else today. And he like freaks out. He's like, what? Are you serious? Niggas still playing with me? I told niggas to stop playing with me. Stop playing with me. He huffing and puffing. He walking upstairs, downstairs, outside, inside. And he literally comes back to the table and sits down in another seat and starts crying in front of me, holding up production. This literally went on for forever, for like an hour of drama and hystericals and theatricals over a chair. So I'm like, Illa, just let him sit in his seat. I was sitting in the back, the same seat I always sit in. I like that seat because it hit my gut at the time. I didn't mind sitting there behind Stat. So I'm like, Illa, just let this man sit in his seat so we can start. So I had to drive 2 hours in traffic. That townhouse is all the way in the valley. Nonetheless, Stat sits in his seat. Tears immediately dry up. We do the episode. We don't talk about it. Cool. Later on, Six talks about it on his kick stream. He calls me. He's like, Dejon, did Stat cry on his show? So we talked about it on Six live stream. During the FMW Friendsgiving, Illa had everybody cracking up laughing because she told everybody at that party that Stat was crying. Stat walked in while she was telling the story and everybody was crying. And he's like, why is everybody laughing? And everybody just gets quiet. So my co-host who was there, Scotty wasn't there when it happened. My co-host who was there was already talking about this publicly on camera. I wasn't the first person to say Stat cried, but when I do it, I'm the bad guy. So when I went on Ace Boys Worldwide, I told everybody that Stat had cried over the chair when Pun said he couldn't sit there. And that led to the big blow up between me and Stat leaving the show or getting fired or however you see it, whatever your purview is. Now in hindsight, I'm not going to say I shouldn't have told that Stat cried. I'm going to say when Pun and Smack said Stat can't sit in his seat, I should have said, nah, he is going to sit there. If I could go back, if I had a time machine, I could go back to that day, I would have showed some camaraderie with my Fair to Say brother with my co-host. I would have showed some unison with my co-host, and I should have said, no, if Stet's not sitting in his seat, we're not filming, or I'm not filming today. That's where my brother sits. He sits right there. He's the A mic on this show. That's where he gets to sit. But I didn't do that because I looked at it at the time. I looked at it like, whether I'm sitting here, there, I could pop from anywhere. So to me, it wasn't a big deal. When Pun and Smack said Stet's not sitting in the front today, I looked at it like, okay, Stet, just go sit on the other side. Go sit in Illa's seat, which is also in the front. Like, Illa's sitting in your seat, I'm still sitting back here. Scotty's not there. Six is off camera. So you have a whole side to yourself with a whole chair. Why can't you just sit there? You can still be the moderator. You can still be the A mic. That's how I'm looking at it at the time. But I guess it was like one of those dick swinging contest pause, like a man ego issue where he felt like Pun and Smack were trying to punk him. So he couldn't film in another episode. And to coddle that ego, I guess I could have been like, you know what? If Stet can't sit in his seat, we're not filming, or I'm not filming today. If I could go back in time, I would have did that differently. But when I brought this up to Pun, go check out the Dark Hour stream. When I brought this up to Pun, he made it seem like he wasn't responsible for that either. He's like, oh no, like that don't matter. You the one who told everybody that he cried. It's like, yeah, but you made him cry. I told everybody that he cried, but you made him cry. You literally said he's not sitting in that seat today. You were bullying him. You were bullying and trying to punk Stet and like show your power rank and be a higher up against Stet when you could have just let him sit where the fuck he sat. Y'all didn't give a fuck about that show. Why do you care where he sits? If that's where he likes to sit, I guess that's where he likes to sit. Now again, at the time, I'm thinking I could sit anywhere. I could sit on the fucking floor and podcast and give good topics and review albums and be funny and be charming. Woo, 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 woo. But I guess it's not the same for everybody. Maybe he liked that angle. Maybe he really just wanted to sit in that chair. Clearly he did because he cried over it. So I think that was the beginning of the downfall of the Fair to Say show. But again, that was years ago. Who cares? But it was something to talk about with Pun because I never got to have these type of conversations with Pun. I just up and left, posted my resignation letter, and dipped. I never really got to have these type of convos with Pun about why I left and what went wrong with Fair to Say and how I felt about the whole Keem situation and Apollo and FMW, all those good things. So I really liked the Dark Hour. It was dope. I really liked it. In conclusion with the Dark Hour, I asked Pun a question about Rios because that obviously was the topic of the hour as well. Let's check that out. Oh no, real quick, back to the Keem crackpot situation. I have some clips of Mark Nasty confirming that Hove and Illa, who are fake and two-faced, knew that I was pulling out the crackpot because I had already showed them. Remember when I pulled out the crackpot to cook Keem's mom crack, it was me, Mark Nasty, Illa, and Hove. And they tried to pretend like they didn't know I was going to do that, and I just did that out of nowhere. One, that show's not live. So why did that episode come out? If what I did was so bad, why didn't they crop the crackpot scene out of Fair to Say? Because T-Rail and Pun don't give a fuck about how Keens feel. They don't give a fuck about respecting Keens' family. Sometimes they might be scared of that nigga. I think that's what it is. But they still want to go ahead with the content. But let's check it out. This is Mark Nasty on my podcast last year.
It was me, you, Hov, and Ella, and myself. And I just had a question. I wanted you to clarify, because it's been spun to believe that I just pulled the props out of nowhere and started cooking crack for Keem's mom on the show randomly. Tell the truth, shame the devil. Did I not tell y'all I was about to do that and showed y'all the props when I got there?
Before Mark responds, I can tell that me being a part of the podcast world off top, I can tell that people were aware.
Thank you.
I can tell.
It was no surprise. I showed everybody every prop.
I didn't know you was gonna ask this question, but when I saw it, I was like, okay, everybody knew.
They knew. Okay, so can you look into the camera and tell people what happened? Am I lying, or did I show y'all the props beforehand?
No, you're not lying. You put it on the table first, and then you put it down. But I didn't think they was going. I didn't think they didn't think that they was gonna do it during the show.
I told them I was about to cook the crack.
I can't remember. I know you put it out before.
Why would I bring baking soda, a hot plate, a pan, a whisk?
Because we were so intrigued, like what you was doing. Like,
I told you I'm about to cook.
Exactly.
They making it seem, 6 and Ella are making it seem like, and Hove are making it seem like, oh, we didn't know he was about to do that. One, is not a live show. Y'all could have cropped it out. One, if it was that serious, since I'm disrespecting your friend's mom. And two, no, I did tell y'all I was about to do that. And if y'all had said, hey, we're not going to do that, you can't do that, I wouldn't have did it. Y'all laughed when I showed them that shit. But then once I did it on camera, it was like, oh no, bro, you're taking it too far, da da da. But y'all was laughing when I showed y'all the props. Y'all thought that shit was hilarious. I told you it was
Hello? Close to 5, why?
I looked at Hove.
That face you making right now.
I'm like, yeah, I was like, oh, what the fuck? But I didn't laugh or nothing because I felt like it was disrespectful. And then all Hove said was like, you out of pocket. And that was it. As far as I can remember.
It was some chuckles.
Okay, bad.
Y'all were
It was I heard chuckles around, but I don't know who really. I'm not in tune.
So why is it a problem once I do it if you know I'm about to do it?
So my point in that was, Illa and Hove are fake as fuck. They sat there and acted like what I was doing was so blasphemous and wrong on camera, but they knew I was doing it before we filmed. Because I showed them all the props and told them what I was going to do before we filmed, per Mark Nasty, who also was at the table. That's that fake two-faced FMW shit. They wanted to save face for Keem. They wanted to act like, oh, Keem, I had nothing to do with this. Don't be mad at me. No, you saw me sit at the table, pull out all the props, show y'all what I was about to do. Go bring me an extension cord so I could plug the hot plate up, all of that shit. But then once it's on live camera, oh, you want nothing to do with it. Y'all are faking Two-Face. Just like T-Rail, Pun, AD, all of them is faking Two-Face because they could have said, hey, 6, crop that out the episode. We can't put that out. But they left it in the episode and dropped it the next day. Why? Because it's the highest viewed episode, fair to say, to date. Even after I left, they never topped those views. That episode got nearly 60,000 views. No episode of Fair to Say has ever done those numbers. Everybody tuned in to watch that. They wasn't going to miss out on those numbers. Back on Fig can't even do 60K views nowadays. So, there's that. On to Rios. I really was holding Pun accountable because everybody else is afraid to during this Dark Hour stream. This is me asking him about Rios.
Do you feel like Rios feel away because you don't do interviews and you didn't want to pull up to his platform? You didn't want to do the, what's the show Rios do, y'all? The coffee shit. The shit I did, everybody else did. Remember, Pun said, I don't do interviews. Do you feel like you felt the way about that? To me, I feel like you felt
I don't even think it's called the same thing anymore. He got a new one, I think.
What was it called?
Well, his show in his house.
It was the coffee one. I know what he's talking about. With Rios.
Pun, do you feel like you felt the way about that? That's my question.
No. No, we talked about that. We didn't feel a way about that. That's just what I don't do. You know what I'm saying? You can't be mad at something I don't do. Like the only reason that Killer Mike shit happened. Listen, the only reason Killer Mike shit happened because Killer Mike, we managed Killer Mike together, and he was getting his show off the ground. And then I didn't want to do this shit. We had Big Boy at my studio from Outkast, and we were sitting there. So he like, hey, let me interview you. I'm like, nah, bring AD, so that way people don't think I'm sitting down on some solo shit, doing a solo interview, because I'm like, I'm not even doing interviews with my homies. You feel me?
I do remember that. I do remember that day.
So I'm like, all right, bring AD.
I remember that. Now, so you don't think it looks crazy that Adam pulled up to Rios' house to do an interview with his brother?
Nah, it doesn't. Adam is thirsty right now.
No, it don't look crazy. Nobody.
I kind of rock with you on that.
It don't look like, as far as the aspect of.
At the same time, I ain't seen them do a pod together in a while, and Rios is on. They all make it
this nigga's a fucking mod. So Pete this.
All I'm saying is, I feel like.
Listen. All you gotta understand is stop.
I wouldn't have went this far left.
Now look, all you gotta understand is who you're dealing with.
If Pun set aside his personal rule, went against his personal rule, and pulled up to Rios and did the interview, I don't think we ever would have seen Rios on no jumper.
Bro, listen, Dejon. Everybody besides probably like 2 or 3 people that went on that show is on behalf of Pun, nigga. Everybody who sat down is from Pun's world that I created.
Too straight,
motherfucker. So what the fuck do you mean? That's the thing, bro. Listen. Cause niggas don't acknowledge all the greatness I done gave everybody. I done platformed so many motherfuckers.
Let's get back to the destruction. I calmed
down. You know what I'm saying? I done platformed so many motherfuckers. So start acknowledging that and why you know these people that you guys are talking about right now.
All right, so Pun got a little egotistical, a little narcissistic, but he's not lying. We wouldn't know who Rios was if it wasn't for AceBoyPun. I give him his credit and his flowers in that regard. All of the Ace Boys in that whole sector. Nonetheless, that doesn't dispel what I'm saying. What I'm saying is if Pun was pulling up to Rio's platform, if Pun was pulling up to the syndicate, if Pun was supporting them and was supporting what Rios was doing, the content out of his house, I don't think we get Rios at No Jumper. I'm pointing out a solution to the problem. The problem for y'all is Rios is going over to No Jumper and he's interviewing Adam at his house in XYZ. I feel like none of that happens if Pun pulls up to Rio's show, if Pun pulls up to the syndicate, if they still have Rios on Community from time to time. But when you cancel Ace Boys Worldwide and we don't see you go over to Rios, we think there's a beef, and then that's why we see Rios on No Jumper. That might be why he feels inclined to go to No Jumper. I don't think Rios goes to No Jumper if Pun is pulling up to his house to do reality check shows and be a guest on the syndicate once or twice. I just don't think so. But it's like, if you turn my water off and our show is canceled, and then you not supporting the new platform I started, why the fuck wouldn't I go over to No Jumper and do content with Adam? Why wouldn't I have Adam at my house? Think about that. Adam 22 pulled up to Rio's house before Pun did to do content. Adam 22 pulled up to Rio's house. I've been there before to do my own episode of Reality Check with Rios. Adam pulled up before Pun pulled up. That is odd. I think that's odd. I think that's noteworthy. That doesn't take away from all that Pun has done for the Ace Boys and how he platformed them and came up with a show. The only reason we know them, woo, 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 woo. But also, they was pulling up every week, to my knowledge, for free, too. That counts for something. If I have co-hosts that's pulling up once a week for free for 3 years, helping me build and maintain a platform, I owe them that loyalty as well, in my opinion. And it's just unfortunate because, like I told Pun during his Dark Hour stream, Ace Boys Worldwide was the best show underneath the FMW umbrella. And let's hear what Rios have to say about him going over to No Jumper. Because he feels a way about Sharky being invited, but him not being invited.
Their homies still went over to No Jumper. I didn't see Sharky. He didn't get nothing talked down on him.
No, he got support. He got support.
He got support, right? True, he was up there.
Got support.
Some niggas are still going. Got support, but somebody that's doing something positive and trying to get an understanding.
Make it make sense.
Nah, y'all niggas lost. Yeah, exactly. That's law.
That's
law. So.
But the thing is, I'm trying to reserve the content and the message, but that's the reveal. That's what I'm really trying to show. That's the actual reveal. Two serpents with the same head, same thing. That's what I'm trying to show. Like, nigga, watch how fast the mask will be removed when you jump outside the box of being a good boy.
Right.
People will show you who they are. The guy ain't did nothing but support and give good grace and get everything. But when I try to spread some light and do this, I ain't talking about rap. I ain't talking about my career. I ain't talking about this shit. I'm trying to give.
So Rios is basically, and whoever he was on the phone with, was basically pointing out how Sharky from back on Fig was literally at No Jumper the same week Rios was there. They don't care about that, so why do they care about Rios? If I was Rios, I wouldn't give a fuck what FMW, T-Real, Pun, nobody thinks about what I'm doing. You're a grown-ass man. You're no longer on their platform. They're not putting no money in your pocket. They're not even supporting your platform. So why do you care how they feel about you going to No Jumper or doing whatever the fuck you doing? Handle your candle. You have nothing to do with them. You've parted ways with them. You've washed your hands with them. Do whatever the fuck it is that you want to do. I wouldn't give a fuck at the end of the day. Some people are bringing up in the chat back when Rios called me ungodly after my altercations with verbal altercations with Keem. I did feel a way about that during the time because I'm like, it's people in FMW that are pimps or former pimps, gang members, criminals, unmarried with kids, all kind of shit, living in sin. You're not calling them ungodly, but you chose me to call ungodly. But Rios learned his lesson, I'm sure now, that he was surrounded by ungodly people because look how they're treating him. So, you know, some people don't believe fat meat is greasy until they bite into it. I got one more Rios clip before we move on from this. This is him saying he hasn't spoken to Pun.
Did Pun call you?
About what?
About any of this?
No.
He hasn't called you at all? Did you expect him to call?
No.
No. I think it's because he also knows you, right? Like, he knows that like you're trying to play this game.
No, he doesn't. I don't think he knows that. I don't think anybody really understands what I'm doing. But what Pun understands is Pun is sort of like Mac too.
Yeah.
Pun is elevated. Pun is a businessman. Pun has an understanding of the game. You know what I mean? Like, he doesn't really necessarily know my position or where I'm going with it or whatever, but he sees it like, shit, you can do what you're doing. Like, what you do don't make me shit. What you eat don't make...
And I hope he's telling the truth. I hope him and Pun really don't have any animosity towards this. It didn't work out for whatever reasons. They won't be 100% transparent about it, but for whatever reason, Ace Boys didn't work out. There's no reason for them to be mortal enemies. Just go your separate ways. When I catch clips of what Rios is doing, I check it out. When I catch clips of what Pun is doing, I check it out. And there's that. Shout out to both those black men. Well, I guess half black man for Rios. I think he's Puerto Rican. But all right, I got tagged in a post from Moose Girl. We started posting a clip of Moose Girl and Ricky, shout out to Ricky, having a conversation about me on their Zoom stream, where basically Moose Man admits that both Adam22 and Josh, aka the Zionists, have instructed Moose Man and the No Jumper employees not to mention Tam and I whatsoever. Let's check it out.
Crazy. You're gonna have big ass booty cheeks by the time you leave that place.
Facts.
Yo, Dejon. Nah, play.
Crazy, bro. Hey, bro. Moose bit off way more than he could chew.
What do you mean by that?
Way more than he could. Bro, he's getting at you every chance he gets. Giordano's in Chicago.
I was instructed by the higher ups not to make any more statements toward that person.
But you keep doing it.
I haven't said nothing. Have I? What did I say?
The last news episode you were getting at Dejon and Tam, and I was just like,
no. It was like one joke about like family and friends at their concert or something like that. I don't know. I don't be that serious, and everybody takes me so serious. It's just, now we want to jump Moose. Tam's brother wants to beat me up. Woo. I guess he wants to fade too, man. I guess him and Dejon are gonna get together and fucking tag team match people.
Crazy.
All right, well, shout out to Dora the Explorer, aka Consuela from No Jumper. At the end of the day, bitch, we know you don't want to run our phase. You don't want to fight me. You don't want to fight Tam's brother, but you keep bringing up Tam. But now you've been instructed by your Zionist bosses to not bring us up. I guess they don't want the No Jumper audience being privy to all the dope things we have going on over here, such as sponsorships, our live event that outsold yours, and by yours, I mean your canceled show. All of the dope things you've seen us at Blast listening party. There was no Jumper host there. You're going to see us outside. I'm getting ready to go to a BET event right now. You're going to see no Jumper host there. Yeah, we have more motion in LA than any of the current No Jumper hosts. So maybe that's why Adam 16 and Josh, his brother-in-law that got caught sucking his dick, that's why Adam's sister filed for divorce against Josh. That's why they said don't talk about us. I'm only assuming. That's fine. We don't need you to talk about us. That's how it should have been from jump. You got to think, I haven't worked at No Jumper since 2024, March 2024. So why am I being brought up every fucking week on No Jumper anyway? I always thought that was odd and peculiar and seemed a bit obsessive. When Tam joined the platform, like I said, I turned my damper down when it came to Adam. I wasn't disrespecting. I wasn't talking shit about No Jumper or anything like that because I didn't want her to deal with the repercussions of that. But then Adam kept talking shit about how me and Tam couldn't even do 1,000 views. But last week, Tam and I did 20,000 views on this very same channel with your host, bitch, your former host, Munchie B, and Spody Face. So yeah, I don't need Moose Girl, Moose Knuckle to talk about Tam and I on No Jumper. We would prefer they didn't bring us up at all. That way we wouldn't have to respond and make you guys a topic on our topic sheet. I think that would be best. So we'll see how long that lasts. We'll match your energy. You guys stop talking about us. We'll stop talking about you guys only selling 22 tickets and having to cancel your No Jumper live show. My last point on this is Moose Girl, aka Dora the Explorer, aka Consuela. Remember this. You're on the Monday show now. It's doing like 20, 30,000 views, maybe 40,000 peak views. When I was on the Monday show with Flacco and Almighty Suspect, we were doing 100,000 plus views a week, bitch. You're in the little leagues. You make $125 to $150 an episode. I made $4,500 a month at No Jumper, bitch. I ain't talking about pesos. I'm talking about American dollars. 4,500 American dollars a month, bitch. Over 100,000 views a week on the Monday show with me, Flacco, and Almighty Suspect. You ushered in the lowest view, worst rated era of No Jumper era. I blame Moose Girl. The Moose Girl era of No Jumper is the worst, lamest, least successful era in the history of No Jumper. And you guys have admitted that. So I don't understand why you would be mentioning me in the first place. You could never compete with my era. When I was there, it was me, Brick Baby, Sharp, Flacco, Suspect. We was killing it with views. This is after the great exodus where Gina left, AD left, T-Rail left. We were still killing it with numbers, doing 100,000 a week on the Monday show. Me, Flacco, and Suspect with me as the moderator. So you could never, ever, ever, ever compete with me content-wise. Line your channel up with my channel. You could never compete with me content-wise. You got videos on your channel that don't even have 1,000 views. Stop playing with me. You've never interviewed any prominent West Coast artists. I've interviewed Blue Bus Clan, AZ Chike, RJ, G Perico, Westside Boogie, you name it. You really name it. I've interviewed all of them. You've interviewed none of them. You're not a figure. You're not a staple out here on the West Coast. You're dealing with a media titan, a West Coast media titan. So I don't need you bringing me up on No Jumper. What I need you to do is go find boots and backpack. That's the only thing I need you to do, Dora the Explorer. Other than that, I don't need you mentioning me in Tam. What I need you to do is pull up to your fade with me and pull up to your fade with Tam's brother. If you're not pulling up the fades, we don't want to hear it. So unless you're talking about the fades you owe us, we don't really want to hear what you got to say about us on No Jumper. In fact, let's let Spody Face talk about No Jumper. We don't have to talk about No Jumper. Let's let Spody Face talk about No Jumper.
Hunter 730 said No Jumper ain't been the same since the Big 3 left. That's a fact. That is a fact, whether they want to admit it or not, man. They doing subpar numbers over there, man. Subpar numbers over there. That is a fact. That is a fact, man. That is a fact. When we was over there, me, Young and Hefe, Munchie B, we was doing like at least like 8,000 live subscribers, you know what I'm saying? Live, or people that was just subscribers. And we was doing probably like five, sometimes 6,000 members only. That was a lot. Yeah, we was definitely doing numbers. I tune in every now and then. People show me or see me they numbers. They definitely ain't doing the same numbers, bro. They definitely not doing the same numbers. Yeah, I'm gonna do a reaction later on.
So yeah, I don't have to talk about Whole Jumper. What Spody Face said. Clock that. Fact. Shout out to Spody Face. Dub Spody Face. Speaking of Spody Face owes me, I think, 15 or 20 push-ups. We had a bet. Where we talked about YG's first week album sales. We agreed when he was here. He said YG would do 15,000 first week. And I said if YG does 15,000 first week, whoever loses has to do push-ups. Diamond style push-ups. So Spody Face, I'm still waiting on my push-ups. But let's check out YG's first week album sales for his album, The Gentleman's Club. According to Google, YG's 7th studio album, The Gentleman's Club, moved roughly 11,000 equivalent album units in its first week. So Spody Face owes me some push-ups, you guys. Tag Spody Face. I told you guys so. Matter of fact, let's go watch it. Let's go watch the first week sales predictions. This is on my page. Munchie B said some crazy number. Let's check it out. Where is it at? We'll see what YG's new album does. His album is called The Gentleman's Club. It drops tomorrow night. We'll see what it does. Sam and I will come back and review it. Before we move off this, what's our first week sales prediction? His last album sold 8,000 copies first week. What are our first week sales predictions for this go around?
15 to 20.
Vince Staples just sold 14.
Y'all definitely got YG over there. I got one that he said 20.
Vince Staples sold what?
Vince Staples just sold 14,000 copies first week.
That's a lot too. Shout out to him.
Well, Vince Staples normally does around 20 to 30, but he's independent, so it dropped to 14. What do you say, Tam, for YG
I'm
Staples?
gonna give YG, yeah, same thing. I'm gonna go 10 to 15 instead of 15 to 20. I'm gonna give him 10 to 15 because it's a dark time.
Munchie B.
You said first what?
First week sales predictions. YG Gentleman Club album.
Go 30.
I will say I appreciate him trying to do a theme this time. I would love to see YG really commit and do a concept album like Tyler. Be a character, become something else. You can take yourself a little bit out of the YG identity and give us something creative.
But My Crazy Life
Maybe
was
a short film. But My Crazy Life is just him.
It was a concept album. The concept was his life.
Sure, but like we already did that. Now we gotta do something else like you.
But see, albums, it got structure to it, and it's telling like a story or something.
Yes,
like
it should.
Like that's what My Crazy Life was. But like a lot of people just put a gang of songs on the album. But I say 30.
I give it 5,000 to 6,000 copies first week. Munchie B was wild. I get YG's your homie, but thinking YG could do 30,000 copies first week is diabolical, delusional, and crazy, brother. Schoolboy Q's last album did 29,000 first week, so YG definitely wasn't going to do that. But I was off too. I said 5,000 to 6,000 and he did 11,000. We know YG's last album, Just Read Up 3, did 8,000. Now, why do I think YG only sold 11,000 copies first week? One, YG has not corrected the narrative that YG has fell off. That's a narrative that's reoccurring on the hip-hop scene and conversations on social media, barbershop conversations, X, Y, and Z. He hasn't done anything to correct that narrative. He hasn't delivered a record that will make you say YG is back. He's no longer fell off. He's revived. Like, he hasn't delivered that record. I talked about how the Gang Business record with Pay Gotti was the wrong move. The beat for We Know the Truth, because We Know the Truth could have been a dope moment. Him speaking to something so vulnerable and shocking and something that is not clickbait, but it's clickbait-ish. It gets people to tap in. Something that's interesting. But the beat was so G-Funk coded and old school dated that it's not going to work on the current hip-hop listener's ear. A lot of these songs won't make it past Arizona. I don't think YG can tour past Arizona in a large venue capacity. So yeah, I think that the YG album production sucks. I think his lyrics suck. I think his flow sucks. The only thing that album had going for itself was like creative concepts. And that's not enough to revive YG's career. So I think that's why it sold 11,000. Certain fans was pointing out what you looking for? Oh, okay. Certain fans was pointing out that, let me see. The Shade Room was running paid promo for YG. Like this post where it says, fans and critics are weighing in on YG's latest album, The Gentleman's Club. And there's nothing wrong with the type of post. I post the same stuff. But where you see that this was paid for is in the hashtag when they put hashtag 400ENT partner. So that lets you know 400ENT or YG's team paid for this post versus them organically wanting to cover how the timeline was reacting to YG's album. I don't think the average Shade Room fan cares about how people feel about YG's album. But it says, child, YG's new album, The Gentleman's Club, has the internet talking. YG really has leaned into his storytelling bag with this project, causing many to say this is his strongest body of work in years. Yes, this is cap and this is paid. This is paid promo. From trading bars with Pusha T on OMG to the storytelling on various records like Hitman and Tiffany, he has people locked in. Roomies. What's your favorite track on this project? Swipe and see what the internet has to say. Again, I posted a carousel of people's reactions to the YG album, but no one paid me to do it. It was just my interest in hip-hop conversations. I think paying a platform to show what other people are saying about your album is crazy, and the hashtag 400ENT partner exposed that. So, yeah, there's that. Congratulations to YG for selling 11,000 copies first week. Like I said, I really want to hear YG. I really want to see YG retire from rap. I don't want another YG album. It's time for movies, acting, TV, modeling, clothing line,
open up a label, sign some new LA rappers, new West Coast rappers, do your thing. I do not want to hear a new YG album unless it's executive produced entirely by Mustard. Mustard produced 10 songs for you and you rap over 10 Mustard beats. Then I might care. But other than that, no thank you. Keeping it on West Coast, AZ Chike has shared his Grammy certificate, what I'm going to call a Grammy certificate, because it's not a Grammy award. A Grammy award is a trophy of a phonogram or whatever that device is called. But AZ Chike posted this. He said, yeah, I got involved with that, and I want to congratulate him. It says, the Recording Academy presents this certificate to AZ Chike in recognition of your participation as featured artist on the Grammy Award-winning Recording GNX by Kendrick Lamar, Best Rap Album, 68th Grammy Award, year 2025. So, yeah, to me, one, congratulations to AZ Chike. I want to start there. AZ Chike is the first rapper I ever interviewed in my life. Helped start my media career. So I'm going to always salute and show respect to AZ Chike for helping me in that regard and giving me that opportunity when he didn't have to do that for me. What I will say is that the narrative that GNX won all these LA rappers Grammys, to me, is false. Lefty Gunplay is the only LA rapper sans Kendrick to win a Grammy off of being on GNX, because he was featured on what won Best Rap Song, TV Off. Just because you're on a album that wins Best Rap Album doesn't mean you win an actual Grammy. For example, Blast and Mozzie were featured on Killer Mike's album Michael that won Best Rap Album 2024. Is Blast a Grammy winner? Is Mozzie a Grammy winner? No, they were featured on a Grammy-winning album. The only Grammy winner from GNX, in my opinion, is Kendrick Lamar and Lefty Gunplay, rapping-wise. Now, producer-wise, Larry J won for Best Rap Song, producing TV Off. Obviously, I believe Soundwave as well, and Mustard. Understandable. But, yeah, I feel like when I hear all these upcoming LA rappers that were featured on GNX talking about, oh, I won a Grammy, where's the Grammy? If you won an Olympic gold medal, you can show the Olympic gold medal. Where's the Grammy? No, you want a participation certificate for participating in a Grammy-winning album. And that's an accomplishment, but you're not a Grammy winner. If you go to a Grammys winner's house or studio or something, they have a Grammy on a mantle. They don't have a certificate there. Beyonce doesn't have 20-something Grammy certificates. She has 20-something Grammy trophies. So if you don't have a Grammy trophy, Lefty Gunplay has a trophy because he's a Grammy winner. So if you don't have a trophy, you're not a Grammy winner. Because again, Blast and Mozzie were featured on Killer Mike's album Michael that won Best Rap Album 2024 at the Grammys. They don't have Grammys. So this whole rule, oh, if you featured on a Grammy album, a Grammy Award-winning album, you automatically win a Grammy. If that's the case, everybody would have a Grammy, and winning a Grammy wouldn't be a special one too. If that was the case, both Blast and Mozzie would have Grammys. They would be Grammy winners. But congratulations to AZ Chike nonetheless. The Packed Up single, I guess, is doing good. It's not charting good, but it's getting some good feedback. I watched Hit Boy cook up the beat on Instagram. I thought the beat was dope. So hopefully AZ Chike is able to follow up with a charting single before the year is up. Keeping it on LA Rap, Jay Reddy will be pulling up very, very soon. He wants to expose his manager, King. He's saying that he's alleging that his manager stole a lot of funds from him and ran off with his money. Let's check it out. Jay Reddy said, King knows all his bad people. Your ass is no good out there no more. He also said, I ain't done with your bitch ass either. I need all my people to unfollow this man. His career is done for. I want my money, and I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get it. And King knows all. He also said, I'm under no management for all bookings and features. DM me. I know both King and I obviously just got to know Jay Reddy from him being on my freshman cover and me interviewing him earlier this year. Jay Reddy reached out to me. He said he wanted to come up here and expose his manager, talk about it. So he's going to be pulling up very, very soon. His label has agreed that I will be the first interview platform that he sits down and talk about this with. His manager, who I've known for years, also reached out to me and said he wants to come up here and do an interview. And I told him after Jay Reddy pulls up and does his interview, we could hear from the manager and we could just get to the bottom of this story, because the manager is saying that he was owed the money. Jay Reddy is saying he stole the money. His manager said that he sent the cease and desist to Jay Reddy, which to me is sketchy, because it's like, if you didn't steal nothing, why are you trying to stop this man from telling his side of the story? But we'll see how it goes. So yeah, that's going on. So you'll hear from Jay Reddy. Jay Reddy will be pulling up soon to talk about that. Real quick, Smoney, who just got out of jail, and R3 the Chili Man have been going back and forth over a bitch on social media. LA rappers beefing over a bitch is normal, but crazy still. Let's check it out. I don't feel sorry for Arthur the Chili Man, because you're fucking with a bitch that says dead homies and talks like a gang member. You damn near fucking a nigga with a pussy. That's disgusting. So apparently R3 the Chili Man's baby mother caught him, went through his phone while he was asleep and caught him dealing with a female that Smoney deals with allegedly. Smoney and him have been going back and forth for weeks over this bitch or this female or what have you. And it's getting pretty bad. And they could be making music together, making money, doing shows, dropping projects, woo, 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 woo. But instead, they're letting some bitches, some pussy, stop them from working together. So that's cute. That's very interesting. Let's hear what Arthur the Chili Man had to say on Instagram Live the other day about this.
Y'all know what bitch I want. That poor ass moist man rocker. Already had his first hot, you want to the next. I want to cut a real bitch.
I'm going to stop it there because this is extremely lame and not worth my time or energy. Arthur the Chili Man said, y'all know who bitch I want. I want Cuz who be rocking the fake Moissanite, the Moissanite wearer. I want his bitch. I want his real bitch. Why do you want another nigga's bitch? Like, why are you plotting on another nigga's bitch? To me, that's gay and weird. And again, you guys could be working together to make money, but instead you're plotting on a nigga's bitch. You're trying to fuck a nigga, another rapper's bitch. And you're on IG Live talking to your fans about fucking a nigga's bitch instead of talking about your music, which is why we can't name the last R3 the Chili Man hit record. So, lame, thumbs down, not worth my energy. This next topic is actually exciting. And Joe Moses was getting interviewed, and he got asked, how does he feel about, like, does he ever feel underlooked, overlooked, or unappreciated, XYZ? Let's check that out.
Fuck the complaining. Just take what God give you and make way with that shit. Like,
you've been in this game for years. Do you ever feel like you sometimes get overlooked at all, or do you ever feel like you don't get the credit you deserve for all the work you put in and for pioneering a sound?
All the time. Shit, God has blessed me to travel the world, take my homies for free, and get paid for free. So fuck the complaining. Just take what God give you and make way with that shit. Like, ain't nothing that we can complain about. Shit, I was doing time in the penitentiary and working for 6 cents a day. I'm getting paid every stop in every city. I gotta be in Bakersfield. Next day I gotta be in the Bay. 2 days later I gotta be back in Vegas. This shit fun. Do what you need to do. Don't complain. Because God easily will take that shit away from you. Fuck the complaint.
All right, not a bad mindset. Shout out to Joe Moses. Joe Moses is definitely a pioneer of LA or West Coast ratchet rap, him and YG. I think Joe Moses never really went mainstream. He never had a mainstream single that made it outside the West Coast. But he's definitely a West Coast legend. I don't think that Joe Moses is overlooked or underappreciated. I think he gets just the amount of love and respect that he deserves. I feel like if he wanted more, then he should have put in more work as far as dropping bigger records at the end of the day. I feel like he dedicated a lot of his career to gangbanging music, to being a blood and letting everybody know he was a big blood. I feel like Joe Moses, even when he had the Future record, when he was signed to Atlantic Records, I think he'd been signed to Atlantic Records on 2 different occasions, and he had the Future record. He brought Future out here, had Future in the hood talking about some Bracken, wearing red rags and shit. It's like, if I get Future, we going to Sam's, we going to a strip club, and we making a strip club banger that they can play in Houston, Atlanta, Miami, East Coast, Chicago, Detroit. But no, you got Future out here. You got a Future feature. You got Future to do a song with you, and you made a blood anthem called Bracken. Okay, well, let your blood homies appreciate you and overlook you or XYZ, because that's who you pandering to. That's who you're catering to the gang community. I feel like that was a big misstep on Joe Moses' behalf. We also know the politic when Joe Moses got dropped from Atlantic Records the first time for making the T.I. Tiny diss on Paranoid. What he said, ain't no Tinies around me, bitch, on the Paranoid record, the B.O.B. record. So they took, the Ty Dolla $ign record. They took him off and replaced him with B.O.B. because T.I. was so esteemed at Atlantic Records at the time. So, I feel like Joe has made some critical mistakes, but most namely being known as a super blood and just pushing that super blood card in his music. I feel like that's why we never saw him get to the next level like some of his peers. And he's talented. I think he's a phenomenal MC. I just think he keeps making the same songs over and over. I think he makes like a ratchet song for bitches to twerk to, and then he makes the street shit, and I feel like he should lean more towards the ratchet shit, but also he should evolve and build on the ratchet shit so it's not the same ratchet song over and over. So I think that's why Joe Moses is so overlooked and underrated, but he's still a West Coast legend, like I said. Before we get out of here, I wanted to recap the Pretty Ricky versus B2K versus and check out some clips from that. Pretty Ricky cooked B2K. This wasn't a good matchup. Their music is way more mature and sexual and just different eras. B2K was early 2000s. Pretty Ricky was like mid to late 2000s. And Pretty Ricky put belt to ass.
Don't wanna move on. I know you're sick, tired of fussing and the fighting and the cussing, but I love you and you love me too. I think you wrong, you did me wrong. I take you back. Say what? You take me. Stop playing. I did you wrong. What? You did me. What? I take you back. Say what? I take you. No matter what you do, no matter what you say, no matter how far you go, don't take your love because I love you and girl I want you and girl I So
once Omarion got out there and started performing Touch, I knew Pretty Ricky had this in the bag. Shout out to them for the dub. Spectacular stole the show. So shout out to Pretty Ricky. They won that. I want to talk about some upcoming verses that should happen. I think Jodeci versus Boys the Men makes sense, but also Jodeci versus Drew Hill makes sense. I have Jodeci winning both. I would love to see Jagged Edge versus 112. I think that's a tough one where I can't pick the winner just yet. I want to see Mary J. Blige versus Faith Evans. I still think Faith could stand a chance. I think Faith still could stand a chance. I want to see Anita Baker versus Toni Braxton. I think that'll be a really, really good one as well. And then to keep it hood, I want to see Plies versus Boosie. I would love to see Applies versus Little Boosie, Boosie Badass versus both from the South, both ratchet, both got them thick ass paws, Southern accents. I would like to hear Applies versus Boosie. Who do y'all have winning? Applies versus Boosie Badass versus. I got Applies. I feel like Applies had bigger records. Boosie don't have a shawty.
Boosie got a better following that support whatever he does.
Yeah, but record for record, I got Plies winning. Chat, who do you got winning the versus? Plies or Lil Boosie? Plies got bigger records than Boosie.
I give him that.
In my opinion.
Boosie is just something about Boosie.
I think Plies got bigger records.
Solo records or
and features. Lose My Mind with Jeezy.
Fire feature records.
Him and T-Pain. Like he just got, I don't know, I just feel like he got bigger records, but they saying Plies, some people saying Plies. Okay. They saying, yeah, I'm seeing Plies. Plies ran off on the plug twice. You call me? I ain't calling him Bike. Sweet Pussy Saturday. Plies, yeah, Plies. I'm just vibing at the Ritz-Carlton. Yeah, we going with Plies. Oh, Plies ain't got to wipe me down. That's one. Okay, Boosie got wipe me down. He got that round. He got that, but Plies got Becky. You get what I'm saying? Like, Plies got records, too.
Becky and those two.
Hypnotized, Plies. Oh, Boosie got Set It Off in this motherfucker, yeah. I'm not saying Boosie don't got records. I'm saying Plies got more bigger records, more commercial records. I feel like Plies can win. I want to see it. Plies versus Boosie at versus Make It Happen. Just give me and Tam some passes. Let's make it happen. Plies versus Boosie. We need to see this. For the West Coast, I want to see YG versus Tyga. I would love to see YG versus Tyga. I think they both got 20. I'm going for YG, but I think YG versus Tyga would be a good versus to see in person. 20 songs. They both got 20 big records, 20 hits.
I would go for Tyga, but I would go for YG, but I think Tyga might get him.
Yeah, I think people outside of LA are going to say Tyga, but people from LA, from the West Coast, are going to say YG.
YG kind of wouldn't really pass AZ. Tyga was a little bit more international, so they probably have a lot more backing on his. Plus, Tyga was a hot artist now, in a way. I wouldn't even call him a rapper.
Yeah, I want to see the YG versus Tyga versus. I definitely want to see that. But all right, you guys, let me read this tweet of the week, and then I'm going to get out of here. Do I have tweet of the week queued up? If not, yeah. So tweet of the week is from Be Like Sage. It says, we all lost a good bond over some lame shit. So I agree, that's facts. I done for sure fell out with people that I love or loved over bullshit before. It's kind of my whole thing. It's kind of my specialty. I enjoy falling out with people. I don't know what it is about me, but I just get off on it. I love not speaking to people anymore. It's one of my pleasures. It feels better than anything else. Like knowing like, oh, I don't have to, you did something I don't like, I don't have to deal with you anymore. You're not a part of my life anymore. And if people just stop doing stuff I don't like, then they wouldn't have that problem. But I'm crazy, so there's that. But yeah, have you guys ever lost a bond over some lame shit before? What do you do after stream, Dejon? Mind my business, Smartino. That's what I do. I'm going to finish my cut water, I'll tell you that much. Even though it's whooping my ass. But, yeah, shout out to everybody that lost the bond over lame shit. If it's meant to be, it'll come back. If not, learn from it and grow. It's not that big of a deal. It's not that big of a deal. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Palm trees in the chat. I'm going to give y'all a couple more minutes. Do you have any questions for me? Who we raffling the shirts off to? We only got one super chat that answered my props. So DBX TV is the only person that won a shirt. Anybody else in the chat want to send a $5 super chat? Pass me a shirt, please. Thank you so. Okay, that was interesting. You didn't throw the shirt. Shout out to D-Rack TV. If you want to win a Dan Lay shirt in the next 2 minutes, send a $5 super chat letting me know your favorite Dejon Paul moment ever. Also, if you have any other questions, you're welcome to just ask a question, and I'll answer it throughout these next 2 minutes. If not, I'm going to get off here and finish my cut water. Shout out to everybody in the chat. I'll be here Monday interviewing Haiti Baby, and then Wednesday, me and Tam will be back here doing a Dan Lay pod. Oh, this will. Oh, y'all, let me tell y'all. I threw up at the bar last night. I went out for drinks. I went out to a hookah lounge first. Then I went to a bar, had some drinks. I've been craving martinis. I've been seeing everybody make martinis. So I'm like, ooh, I want a martini. Ooh, I want a martini. So I ordered a martini. It was happy hour, so they gave me 2. It was the nastiest drink I ever drank in my life. I had a dirty martini. It tasted like salt water. I drank the first one really quick just to get it over with. I'm halfway through the second one, and it feels like I have to throw up. I ran to the restroom, threw up the entire drink. I will never drink a martini again in my life. The olives taste like balls of salt. The drink tastes like ocean water. Trash. Don't recommend it. All 32. Did you make a whole new page to join my chat and ask me where is Riot at? She's in the PJs turning up another notch. All right, I'm giving y'all 1 more minute. Any other questions? Any other questions? I sent all my money to ODM. Shout out to ODM Slam. Y'all ain't talking about nothing. I'm going to get off here. Make sure you hit that like button before I get off of here. Could everybody watching who signed in hit that like button for me, please? It'll be greatly appreciated. All 32, you're blocked because you're obnoxious, and I get tired of your shit talking in my chat. Hit the like button. Subscribe if you aren't subscribed. I'll be here Monday evening interviewing Haiti Baby. Until then, I'll